there is a raw and inescapable truth that all the chosen ones end up facing. This hard and difficult truth to face is betrayal. And it doesn't come from strangers, but from those you least expect, those who are close, who know your dreams, your weaknesses, and your greatest desires. It is this closeness that makes betrayal not only painful, but also a trial by fire for your spiritual strength and resilience. Betrayal, for a chosen one, is not a remote possibility. It is a certainty that can shake the structures of your world, but that also serves to shape your true essence. But here's what few talk about: betrayal, while inevitable, doesn't have to be a devastating surprise. As a chosen one, you have a unique sensitivity, an intuition that can help you notice the signs before the pain sets in. Therefore, the intention of this video is to prepare you even more for your sensitivity to these 7 most important signs that indicate someone is about to cheat on you. It's not about living in fear, but about being prepared. Knowing how to recognize these signs is like having a compass in the midst of the storm, guiding you with clarity and purpose when the winds of disloyalty begin to blow. Each sign we'll explore is a reminder that, as the chosen one, you have the ability to turn even the darkest situations into valuable lessons. Betrayal, no matter how painful, can become a tool for growth, a catalyst for your spiritual strength and resilience. By learning to identify these signs, you not only protect yourself, but you also strengthen your journey, becoming even more steadfast in your mission. You may have heard the expression, "the eyes are the windows to the soul." And there is no deeper truth for who is a chosen one. Visual connection is one of the most intimate and honest acts we can share with another human being. It is through our gaze that we reveal our deepest truths, those that we cannot disguise with words. When someone who used to look directly into the eyes of the chosen one begins to avoid that contact, something has changed. This person may be hiding a painful truth, something they don't have the courage to face or share. It's as if, by looking away, she's trying to escape her own guilt or shame. This is one of the first signs that the chosen ones should be aware of, as the evasive look is the gateway to something that hides in the shadows. Imagine a close friend who has always been honest and open with you. Suddenly, during a casual conversation, you realize that he can no longer maintain eye contact. He looks down, to the side, but never directly at you. This behavior, which may seem insignificant at first glance, carries enormous weight. As the chosen one, you have a keen sensitivity to perceive these changes. The emotional disconnection that precedes betrayal often manifests itself this way. A person who once felt comfortable in your presence is now uncomfortable, almost as if they are afraid of what you might see if you looked into their eyes. This change in behavior does not happen by chance. The truth is that betrayal rarely comes suddenly. It is a process that begins inside the person, like a small crack that expands. The chosen one, with his refined intuition, can perceive this transformation before the betrayer is even aware of it. Avoiding eye contact is a desperate attempt to hide what is already being planned or, in some cases, what has already been done. The traitor fears that you, with your discerning eyes, will see the truth he is trying to cover up. Many chosen ones have already been through this. You may remember a situation where someone important in your life started acting differently, avoiding your eyes as if you were a mirror reflecting their own flaws. This person may be trying to distance themselves emotionally from you, setting the stage for a betrayal that, to them, seems inevitable. Maybe she's trying to protect herself from the weight of guilt, trying not to get even more attached to someone she knows will hurt. If you notice someone avoiding eye contact, this is the time to be vigilant. Don't ignore this sign, no matter how small it may seem. The person may be dealing with inner turmoil that you can't see, but that is about to boil over. The mission of those chosen is to protect themselves, but also to understand the depth of the pain that may be behind this behavior. Sometimes the traitor is someone who is struggling in a web of internal conflicts, and avoiding the gaze is the only way he can hide from himself. A wise approach at this time would be to create an environment where honesty is invited to emerge. If you confront the person directly, accusing them of something, you may push them further away. Instead, Allow her to feel like she can share her fears and insecurities without being judged. Betrayal can often be avoided if the betrayer feels there is still a bridge to cross back to trust and truth. The strength of the chosen lies in understanding human nature and using that understanding to promote healing, even when the risk of pain is great. When someone starts oversharing personal information, especially when this is not typical behavior, it is essential that you, as the chosen one, pay close attention. This behavior is often an attempt to redirect the focus, diverting your attention from the true intentions that this person carries. Imagine a person who suddenly begins to reveal intimate details of their life, stories that you have never heard before, or that seem to come without context. It may seem like she is opening up, showing a more vulnerable side, but in reality, this could be a strategy to mask an imminent betrayal. The chosen one must be careful not to be deceived by this false sense of closeness, as their mission is much greater than giving in to subtle manipulations. This oversharing can be seen as a form of emotional manipulation. The person planning a betrayal may feel the need to justify their future actions, even if only to themselves. By sharing these personal details, she is trying to create an emotional connection that weakens your defenses and makes you, as her chosen one, feel closer to her. It's a tactic to generate empathy, so that when the betrayal finally happens, you hesitate to blame her completely, remembering those confessions she made. As the chosen one, it is essential that you maintain your clarity of thought and do not get caught up in these emotional traps, as your strength lies in your ability to see beyond appearances. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where someone, without warning, started telling stories that seemed unnecessary or out of place? Maybe it was a coworker who suddenly started sharing details about their personal life that weren't relevant to the context. This is a classic example of how a person's behavior can change when they are trying to hide something deeper. The role of the chosen ones is to discern between true vulnerability and a calculated attempt at distraction. This discernment is one of the greatest strengths you possess, allowing you to see beyond appearances and protect your spirit against negative influences. The real intention behind this oversharing of information is often to divert your attention. By inundating you with personal details, the person hopes that you are so emotionally invested that you won't notice inconsistencies or signs of betrayal that they may be trying to hide. This behavior can be a form of camouflage, where personal stories serve as a smokescreen to cover up actions she doesn't want you to notice. It is at this moment that the chosen one must be more attentive, using their intuition to read between the lines and identify what is really happening, as it is through this vigilance that you keep your path firm and aligned. This behavior can also be a way to alleviate the guilt that the person feels. By sharing her truths, even if those truths are not directly related to the betrayal to come, she attempts to redeem herself, setting the stage for you to view her future actions with more understanding or even compassion. It's as if by revealing these parts of her life, she is trying to gain your sympathy in advance, hoping that you, as a chosen one, will be more forgiving when the inevitable occurs. You must be aware of this dynamic and maintain your objectivity, protecting your essence and the mission for which you were assigned. Furthermore, this type of behavior can be a sign that the person is trying to create a narrative for themselves, where they are not the villain of the story. By sharing this personal information, she may be building a justification for her future actions, something that helps her deal with the guilt she feels for betraying a chosen one, someone she trusts. This narrative serves not only you, but also her, allowing her to convince herself that her actions are somehow justified. It is essential that you see through this facade and recognize what is really happening, for it is through the truth that you will keep your integrity and spiritual strength intact. When someone begins to question their decisions in an unexpected and critical way, it can often be a warning sign. Those chosen know that their choices and paths are different, often misunderstood by others. However, when someone who previously respected your decisions suddenly begins to question them with unusual intensity and criticism, it may indicate that this person is preparing the ground to justify betrayal. This type of behavior can be subtle at first, starting with small comments that seem harmless, but which gradually gain strength and turn into more direct and, at times, hurtful criticism. This change in attitude may reflect insecurities and resentments that the person is projecting onto you. She may be dealing with internal conflicts that make her question her own loyalty, and this dissonance ends up manifesting itself in the form of criticism of her decisions. It's crucial that you recognize that these unexpected criticisms are not just opinions, but a sign that something deeper is happening. The person may be trying to find fault with you to justify their future actions, or even to lessen their own guilt regarding what is to come. Imagine that you have made an important decision, something that, for you, makes perfect sense within your chosen path. Suddenly, someone close to you begins to question this decision, not in a constructive way, but with a critical and sometimes even dismissive tone. This behavior can be disconcerting, especially when coming from someone you trusted. But it is exactly at this moment that you, as the chosen one, must maintain your mental and emotional clarity. Unexpected criticism may be a reflection of the person's own insecurity, that they may be feeling that their power or influence over you is waning, and betrayal may be a way of trying to regain that control. Additionally, it's important to consider that these criticisms may be rooted in an attempt to sabotage your self-confidence. The person who questions your decisions may be trying to plant doubts in your mind, so that you start to question yourself and your intuition. As the chosen one, it is essential that you remain firm in your convictions, recognizing that these criticisms are not a reflection of your truth, but rather of the other person's insecurities and internal conflicts. You were chosen for a reason, and allowing these criticisms to shake your confidence can divert you from the path you are destined to follow. Another aspect to consider is that, by questioning your decisions, the person may be trying to create a narrative where you are responsible for conflicts that may arise in the future. By criticizing your choices, she may be setting the stage to justify her own actions, placing the blame on you, the chosen one, for any negative consequences that may arise. This is a common tactic among those who are preparing to cheat, because by creating a justification in advance, they feel less guilty when the cheating finally occurs. This attempt to question your decisions in unexpected ways is a clear sign that you need to pay attention. It's not about ignoring constructive criticism, but about recognizing when this criticism is, in fact, a projection of the fears and insecurities of those who make it. The ability of the chosen ones to discern these nuances is what will allow you to remain in control of your own narrative, without being influenced by those who are trying to manipulate your emotions. Your decisions are guided by a greater wisdom, and it is essential that you trust this guidance, even when others try to divert you from your path. Before we continue, if you feel alone and misunderstood as a chosen one, our ebook is a valuable resource. Find guidance to light your path and understand your unique gifts. Buy now and gain access to our exclusive Discord community where you will find support and understanding. Join us and share your experiences in a welcoming space. Plus, get access to unique and exclusive content. Check out the first comment pinned here on the video. The emergence of gossip and rumors around you, especially when originating from people close to you, is a clear sign that something is being plotted. As the chosen one, you have a light of your own, a presence that inevitably attracts attention. And, unfortunately, this attention is not always positive. When someone starts spreading gossip about you, there is usually a darker intention behind it. Betrayal, to be effective, often needs to be preceded by an effort to undermine your reputation, to weaken the image that others have of you. The person planning to cheat can try to create an environment where, when the cheating finally occurs, it is seen as justified or at least understandable. This gossip can start discreetly, almost imperceptibly. Maybe you hear vague comments or notice strange looks, but you can't quite put your finger on where they're coming from. The chosen one needs to pay attention to these subtle signs. The person spreading these rumors may be trying to test the group's receptivity to their future actions, trying to gain allies or at least sow doubts. It's a dangerous game, but one that many traitors play to ensure that when the truth comes out, they have a support network to protect them from the full repercussions of their actions. Imagine yourself in an environment where you suddenly notice that the conversations change as you approach. The whispers that previously went unnoticed now seem more frequent, and you feel like something is being said behind your back. This discomfort is one of the first signs that a smear campaign may be underway. It is vital that you do not react impulsively, but rather observe and understand what is really happening. This gossip can be someone's way of setting the stage for imminent betrayal, trying to weaken their position while at the same time justifying the actions to come. On the other hand, it is common for those who spread rumors to try to get close to other people in their circle, trying to convince them that their lies are, in fact, true. This can create a hostile or, at the very least, uncomfortable environment where you begin to feel isolated or questioned. Chosen one, it is crucial that you keep your integrity intact and do not allow yourself to be shaken by these attacks. Your truth and character are your greatest protections, and no matter how much gossip may try to dim your light, it is your authenticity that will ultimately prevail. Gossip is often a reflection of the insecurity and envy of those who spread it. The person who plans to cheat may feel that by destroying their reputation, they will be justifying their future actions to themselves and others. It's a way of shifting blame, of avoiding full responsibility for what you're about to do. You must recognize that these gossips do not reflect reality, but rather the fears and weaknesses of those who spread them. And this is exactly why you must remain strong, not allowing these empty words to penetrate your mind or your spirit. It is also important to understand that gossip is often a form of social manipulation. The person spreading rumors is trying to shape others' perceptions of you so that when the betrayal finally happens, it will be viewed with less surprise or outrage. Those chosen must be prepared to face these manipulations with wisdom and patience, knowing that their truth is unshakable. Staying true to who you are and the purpose you carry as a chosen one is the best response to these defamation attempts. When someone who was previously engaged and present in your life begins to withdraw, losing interest in meaningful interactions, it's a clear sign that something is wrong. As the chosen one, you are used to deep, meaningful connections, and you feel it immediately when that connection begins to weaken. This sudden disinterest doesn't come out of nowhere. It is often an indicator that the person is struggling internally with guilt or the consequences of their intentions. The emotional distance that accompanies this change is a form of self-protection for those who plan to cheat, avoiding direct confrontation with the pain they know they will cause. This emotional withdrawal can manifest itself in many ways. Maybe the person who used to always respond quickly to your messages now takes hours, or even days, to get back to you. Or, in in-person encounters, you may notice that the conversation has become superficial, lacking the depth and warmth that used to characterize your interactions. You notice these signs almost intuitively, feeling that something important is being missed. This disconnection is often a prelude to betrayal, and recognizing this early on can help you emotionally prepare for what's to come. Pay attention to a relationship, whether friendship, family, or romantic, where the person was previously attentive, present, and interested in every detail of your life. Suddenly, she becomes distant, absent, almost as if she is just fulfilling a duty to stay in touch. This distancing is a clear sign that she is moving away, emotionally and spiritually. Those chosen must remember that this behavior does not reflect a mistake on their part, but rather an internal conflict that this person is experiencing. By distancing herself, she is trying to avoid the weight of guilt she knows will come when the betrayal is revealed. It is common that, in this process of distancing, the person starts to make up excuses not to meet you or to cancel plans at the last minute. The chosen one, with their sensitivity, realizes that these excuses are, in fact, a reflection of the discomfort the person feels when being around someone they know will be hurt. This behavior is a way of avoiding the pain of confrontation, of postponing the inevitable. And this is where you, as the chosen one, need to stay strong, recognizing that this departure is a sign of something greater to come. Distancing can also be a way for a person to prepare themselves for betrayal, creating an emotional barrier that protects them from the consequences of their actions. By disconnecting emotionally, she tries to reduce the impact of the guilt and pain she knows she will cause. As the chosen one, it is essential that you understand this dynamic and not take this behavior personally. Distancing is not about you, but about the internal conflict of the person who is moving away. Your mission is to remain firm on your journey, without letting yourself be discouraged by this separation, which, although painful, is a part of the process you were destined to face. Furthermore, this sudden disinterest may signal that the person is seeking emotional comfort elsewhere, perhaps with those who will support or justify their betrayal. For the chosen one, this is a difficult reality to accept, but necessary to prepare for what is to come. When you notice this distancing, it is important that you focus on strengthening your own connections, those that are based on trust and truth. Staying aligned with your essence and with those who truly support you will be crucial in those moments when betrayal finally manifests itself. By recognizing this detachment, you must prepare yourself for the next signs of betrayal that may appear. It's not just about accepting the reality of separation, but about using this knowledge to protect your heart and your mission as the chosen one. And by doing so, you will be better equipped to deal with the challenges ahead. The next sign of betrayal that manifests itself is increased hostility or irritability, a change in temperament that often reflects the internal battle of the person who is about to betray. As chosen, your mission is to remain attentive and strong, facing each challenge with wisdom and resilience. When someone begins to show a sudden increase in hostility or irritability for no apparent reason, this is a clear sign that something is wrong. As the chosen one, you notice the emotions of those around you, and this change in temperament is like a red alert. The person who was previously calm and pleasant suddenly becomes aggressive or impatient. This behavior may indicate that she is dealing with increasing guilt or fear of the consequences of imminent betrayal. It is as if she is trying to justify future actions to herself, making them easier to carry out. This hostility can be a form of projection, where the person transfers the anger and discomfort they feel towards themselves onto you. As the chosen one, it's important to recognize that this change in attitude is not about you, but about her internal conflicts. Perhaps by being hostile, she is trying to create emotional distance between you. This is a common tactic among those who are about to cheat. Creating conflicts can serve as a way to justify the eventual separation. Your mission, as the chosen one, is to remain calm and clear, understanding that this hostility is not a truth about you. Can you imagine being in a relationship where suddenly the person starts criticizing everything you do? Small irritations turn into big arguments, and what was once a harmonious coexistence becomes full of tension. This change is an indication that something is being hidden. Hostility, in this context, can be a defense, a way of protecting oneself from the pain it knows it will cause. And this is where you, as the chosen one, need to act wisely, not reacting impulsively, but observing and understanding what is really happening. This irritability may be an attempt to create a narrative where you are to blame. By being constantly hostile, the person may be trying to justify to themselves that the betrayal they are planning is a response to their supposed failures. As the chosen one, it is crucial that you maintain your integrity and not allow this distorted narrative to influence your perception of yourself. The truth is that this hostility is a reflection of a person's internal struggles, not an assessment of who you really are. Your strength lies in not letting yourself be shaken by these emotional manipulations. Finally, it's important to recognize how painful this hostility can be for you. As a chosen one, you have a compassionate heart, and seeing someone you love turn hostile can be upsetting. However, it is essential to maintain a clear perspective and remember that this change in behavior does not reflect your value. View this situation as an opportunity to reinforce your emotional barriers, ensuring that the negativity projected onto you does not penetrate your spirit. Strengthen your resilience, knowing that, as the chosen one, your mission is greater than any emotional storm. When someone begins to behave in an overly defensive manner, even without being accused of anything, it may indicate that they are trying to justify something that has not yet come to light. Defensiveness is often a reflection of a guilty conscience, of someone who is already preparing themselves emotionally for an imminent betrayal. The person feels that their actions or intentions are being observed, which puts them in a state of constant alert. She reacts to any comment or question with disproportionate intensity, as if she is protecting herself from an accusation that has not yet been made. As the chosen one, it is important that you notice these signs, as they indicate that something significant is being hidden. Perhaps this person begins to justify every small action, offering detailed explanations for things that would normally go unnoticed. This change in behavior is unnatural and could be a sign that something is being hidden. The person feels the need to justify themselves in advance, preparing themselves for the moment when the truth will be revealed. It's as if, by defending herself so vehemently, she is trying to convince herself that her actions are justifiable. For the chosen one, these signs are clear warnings that there is something deeper going on. Imagine being in a casual conversation and suddenly the person overreacts to a simple question. Maybe you asked about an insignificant detail, but the answer you receive is full of disproportionate explanations. This reaction is an indication that something is being hidden. Excessive defensiveness serves as a mask, trying to cover up what is really going on in that person's heart and mind. As the chosen one, it is essential not to ignore these signs, as they may indicate that betrayal is approaching. Furthermore, this defensiveness can be a form of emotional manipulation. By defending themselves so aggressively, the person may be trying to divert focus from their own actions, putting you in the position of being blamed for something that hasn't even happened yet. As the chosen one, it is essential to maintain your mental and emotional clarity, recognizing that this tactic is an attempt to manipulate your emotions and possibly create a narrative where you are the villain. Standing firm in your truth and not giving in to these manipulations is crucial to protecting your integrity and your mission. This defensiveness can also be a sign that the person is trying to protect themselves from other people's judgment. By defending herself so intensely, she is actually trying to avoid the weight of guilt that she knows will come when the betrayal is finally revealed. As the chosen one, you must understand that this defensiveness reflects the person's fear and insecurity, not your own conduct. Your mission is to stay strong and not allow this negative energy to penetrate your spirit. By anticipating these signs, you will be better prepared to deal with what is to come while maintaining your unshakable integrity and strength. Don't forget to check the first pinned comment if you feel alone and misunderstood as a chosen one. In our ebook, find guidance to light your path and understand your unique gifts. Buy now and gain access to our exclusive Discord community where you will find support and understanding. Join us and share your experiences in a welcoming space. Plus, get access to unique and exclusive content. Before you leave, I want you to reflect on the journey you are on. Like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue on this journey of spiritual growth and protection. Share your experiences in the comments below because we are a community of the chosen, and we are here to support each other. And don't forget to check out the recommended video on the screen or the Secrets of the Chosen playlist, which was prepared especially for you. This is just the beginning of your journey, and the knowledge you gain here will be your armor in every challenge that comes your way. Keep your light on and continue to shine, because the world needs your presence. Until next time, and may your journey always be guided by truth and light.